Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hey, I'm Gabby Unique, or Gabby, whichever way you want to call me. If you're a returning subscriber, hey. Today, as you can read by the title, we're going to be talking about On My Block. The final season on my block, and we're going to talk about On My Block in general, talk about how much the characters have developed from season 1, from the final season, and just kind of talk about my feelings about the spinoff and everything in general, and how I feel about every character and how much they have. And talk about the show in general too, also how the show has really like changed my life and how it's really like got me through a lot, and like how the show just became such a comfort show, and the cast has just became like a family to like so many of the fans, and how much the cast are just really close to each other. Like, it's really weird, but yeah, let's get into the video. But also, before we get into the video, as you can see, I got a little mic, a little setup, a little on budget little mic so I can hear me more. Until I get more money, this is what we're working with, y'all. This is what we're working with. Today we're gonna be doing a Halloween look. Not really a big Halloween look, just an eye look, because it's spooky season, and this, for some random reason, On My Block came out in October instead of March like it always does. But hey, I felt like they just try to rush this season. We ain't gonna talk about that, but we can talk about that actually. We can talk about that. But yeah, that's weird. We're back. Okay, I gotta get my mirror, y'all. My little cups of noodles mirror. Yeah. So anyways, let's get into the show. So On My Block came out March 16th of 2018. So I was a freshman in high school at this point, and I'm a freshman in college right now. And so when this show came out, I was already put on my primer, put on my Juve foundation. Also, if y'all know any other good foundations, comment down below, because I need some new foundation. Anyway, some good ones. But On My Block came out March 16th. The final season came out October 4th, which is so weird. But I just feel like they really rushed this season, even though I kind of felt complete a little bit, but then at the same time I forgot, like, oh, we left with some really unanswered questions. But yeah, I think how I'm going to talk about this is I want to talk about all the characters in parts. So I was thinking about talking about Monse first. So yeah. But first, before we get into Monse, the show On My Block, nobody was expecting this type of show to come out. And definitely even the actors and the production, the crew, didn't even expect the show to even get season 2 until the fans like literally like kept hyping the show up, kept telling their friends about it. I remember I kept telling my friends and family about it. I was like, y'all need to watch this show called On My Block. It deserves a second season. It left on a big ass cliffhanger that nobody saw coming. It was just so unexpected the way they ended the first season. It was so unexpected how the first episode even started. But yeah, y'all, we'll get into that later. But let's talk about the first character, Monse. And I was really debating if I should start with Monse first, but she was just, I was like, Monse has a lot. I have a lot to say about Monse, and like what happened with her personally, with her mom and her stepfather in the last season, and her dad and stuff like that. I just got a lot to say. And my notes, bro, look at my notes just for Monse. This is all of my notes just for Monse. It's insane. Yeah. So I'm gonna read off my notes a little bit, and then I'll be talking off my head too. So when we first met Monse, she was outspoken. I mean, she always been outspoken, even in the later season. But when we first met her, we saw that she didn't take no. She was not taking the boys BS, but she stayed taking Caesar BS. I don't know why. We'll get into Caesar later. She didn't give two flying F's what anybody thought about her, no matter how she dressed, because she dressed a lot. She dressed really tomboyish in the first season, and I would say she really got into her girly side. This later seasons on, she got really into her girly side. But when we first saw her, she was very tomboyish. When she came back from camp, she blossomed a little bit. She was wearing that little cross t-shirt, that pink little t-shirt. That was a really cute t-shirt too. But she still had her little Jordans on, her little plaid shirt wrapped around her waist. You know how she do. Damn, it's hot. But yeah, Monse is perceived as loyal, which I honestly think she is loyal to the guys, because even after everything, she was still willing to be friends with them. But we get to that later. Monse has been living with her dad since ever since her mom left, and her mom just disappeared on her and her father. Her father, Monty, has not really told her much about her mom. I think he always kept good graces about her, only said nice things, so Monty doesn't realize how trash of a person her mom really is and how much of a flake she is. But we'll get to her mom in a minute. Because it's crazy. The subliminal messages that we just don't see at first. Okay. So Monse is really the glue of the crew. It's every time Monse leaves to go somewhere, when she went off to camp or when she went to that boarding school, the group really went their separate ways. In the first season, when Monse left, it was only Ruby and Jamal, and then Caesar was off with his brother in the gang. And then when she left the second time, it was oh, nothing's gonna change. Monse left, everything changed. The group disbanded. So really, when you think about it, Monse is really the glue of the crew. And it's damn, y'all can't even say friends with each other without Monse literally being in Free Ridge or being close near. She literally has to be close near for y'all to even still be friends with each other. And it's so crazy. But anyways, back to the Halloween episode. Monse sees her mom, and her mom does not even recognize her. And I'm just so you flaked out on your baby daddy and your daughter. Don't remember what she looks like. Couldn't even recognize her. Couldn't even pick her out. Could not pick her out in the what's the thing called? In the lineup. You couldn't even pick her out in the lineup, bro. And so after that moment on Halloween when she saw her, she literally contacted her mom. And luckily, her mom contacted her back, Selena. That's her name. Or Julia. But we're going to call her Selena because, girl, that's her real name. Don't lie. You're lying now. That's her real name. And so when she contacted her on Facebook, Selena reached out to her and stuff like that. And it wasn't until Monty was done babysitting her little kids or whatever, her siblings, she saw that it was her father. She saw that Monse's dad, Monty, was calling her. She was like, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. I'm what? And that's where we left off with Monse and her mom in the first season. So we get into the second season, and she reached back out. Selena reached back out to Monse. To, learn more about her and stuff like that. To learn more about her and stuff like that. And so after that, Monse goes and meet up with her and stuff. And when you think about it, when Monse first reached out to her, it was a blessing and a curse at the same time, because you just realize how much Monse really needed this. How much Monse really needed to know how her mother really is. Because she literally dreamed of her mother being this best, she dreamed of her mom, just leaving, she blamed herself that her mom left, but at the same time it was like, oh, what was she like why did she really leave, you know? And so when she finally like gets the chance to meet her and, you know, spend time with her in Brentwood and stuff like that and learn the truth about why she left, it was like, I wish you just stayed, I wish I never like reached out to you, like I wish you would have stayed unknown and stuff like that. And so after they meet up and, you know, Selena tells her, you know, I'm your mom, that's why we named you Monse, Selena and Monty. Monty's like, what? Like, what do you mean? Oh, wow. And, you know, Monty's like, what? Like, she's like, well, you just admitted it. And, like, Monty was, like, a little iffy if that was even her mom or not. But obviously that was her mom did. And not until her mom was like, oh, I want you to come live in not Free Ridge. Oh my God. Brentwood with me. Monty's like, oh, well, hell no. First of all, you want to come back out of nowhere. Monty had to reach out to you just for you to even know that she was even alive. Like, Monty had to reach out to you just so you know what's good. But now you want to come back into her life knowing that you wouldn't have even done this if she have not even reached out to you. Like, keep that same energy, babes. Keep that same energy. But you know, Monty, shit is getting everywhere. Monty, he did the right thing by letting Monse stay in Brentwood with Selena for a little while, because he's like, watch her. Just watch how she just disappoints. And that's what Monse did. She watched. So Monse stays in Brentwood with Selena, but also it's kind of left a little rift between her and Caesar. And I don't know if I talk about much about Caesar, but I know he's like a big part of her life. Ooh, that's too big. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, Caesar, like, okay, Caesar didn't want Monse to leave. It's like, he said the most disrespectful comment. Is like,
of course you would leave. You really are your mother's daughter.
that I'm just like, how dare you, Caesar? Who keeps trying to get you out this gang? Who found $500,000 and try to get your ass out the gang every season? Oh, but Monse is the flake, because Monse wants to know more about her mother that's not there. Oh, okay. Yeah, she's a flake. She's a cheater, right? We'll get to you in a second. Not even a second. We won't wait on Caesar. But anyways, with Monse leaving Brentwood to go hang with her mother, and when Monse leaves Free Ridge to go hang with her mother in Brentwood, she learns a lot. She learns a lot. So there's like, so she invites Ruby and Jamal over and Jasmine to know, show them what Brentwood's about. And so that happens, and they all like discover a lot with the Ouija board and stuff. Jamal thinks Julio is after him, but it was Julio, I think, the gnome gods and shit like that. And so there's a scene between Monse and her little Brentwood friends, and Monse finds out that Selena been talking trash about Monty, saying he abused her, physically abused her and stuff like that, to her little Brentwood homies, like her little girlfriends in Brentwood. And I'm just like, so now you want to lie. Now you want to lie and say this man abused you. No, you left him and your kid to start a whole new facade of your life. You literally changed your name. You straightened that hair. You wanted the white kids. You wanted a white man, not even American. He from Britain, babes. Like, okay. So yeah, and so then in the next scene, you see Monse confront Selena about this, and she's like, why'd you tell your friends that my dad abused you, like stuff like that. And she's trying to make up these excuses like, you know, I didn't tell Brian that's Selena's husband, but I only told them that. And, you know, Monty's like, what if, you know, my dad comes to visit and they see that he's this bad guy, and, you know, they don't think that. It's like, girl, but you made them. They fit her life by giving her all these new accessories with the laptop and stuff like that, and straightening her hair to fit her lifestyle, to fit the white narrative that Selena is trying to portray.
You lied to put on a better face, to hide the truth, just like you lied about the real reason that you left.
And it's so annoying because it's like, Monty's not embarrassed of where she came from. Like, sis, you came from Free Ridge too. You don't even talk to your sisters, bro. Yeah. And so, and all the fancy clothes too is just like, you really try to make her fit this narrative that's not really Monte. Like,
would you have left if I looked like you?
that's when we should have just knew something was up, bruh. But I guess we didn't think much of it. I know I didn't think much of it at the time when that scene came out. But yeah. But yeah, we just found out that Monse is not embarrassed of where she came from. That's the difference between her and Selena. Monse is not going to be embarrassed because her coming from the what the hell? Her coming from the hood makes her who she is. It literally, you know, she's who she is because of where she came from and how her father raised her. She knows what not to do. She knows how to protect herself. She knows not to take any BS from nobody. That's the difference between her and Selena. Selena is embarrassed of where she came from. That's why she tried to fix her life, try to make a new family. Because I'm pretty sure if Monse came out a little bit lighter and they wasn't in Free Ridge, she easily would have took Monse. She easily would have took Monse, no questions about it. But yeah, obviously Selena don't know how genetics works and stuff like that, but I'm just like, you was with a black man, so I don't know why you thought anything different. But it's just like, you're a colorist, babes. You're a colorist. And the thing is, y'all know what being a colorist means. Being a colorist, let me get the right definition. Being a colorist is basically having a favor for lighter skin over darker skin. You're basically favoring a lighter skin over another skin, and you're kind of degrading darker skin over the other. But in Selena's case, she's like Hispanic, I think. She's Latina, and you know, she's really hoping that Monse was going to come out a little bit lighter to fit her narrative. But since she didn't, and I think she was with Monse maybe until like she was maybe 1 or 2. I don't know. But it didn't work out like that. Not like she thought, ooh, I look so big. White. Not white, but anyways. But it's like ever since she left, she got the life she wanted. She got them white babies. She got the white husband. Not even white babies, because those babies are half like Latina now. They're half Latina, so it's like, oh. I'll put a little bit too much on y'all, but don't worry, it's gonna look good at the end. But it's like, damn, girl. But the fact that she really tried to have Monse fit that narrative, to have Monse kind of not be ashamed of where she came from, but have Monse, you know, realize that it's a better life here in Brentwood. You know, you can do whatever you want and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what, bruh? What is your deal, bro? What is your deal? What's your dealio? But yeah, damn, I saw it right there. Because when you really think about it, with Monse living in Free Ridge and Selena living in Brentwood, you see how messy, you know, people who live well off in big mansions in like in the suburbs, their lives are just as worse as people who live in the hood. The difference is like people who live in the big mansions and the suburbs and, you know, the white parts of the neighborhood are just hiding their secrets and just living miserable lives underneath all the perfect lifestyle. While people who live in the hood and, you know, Free Ridge, all your dirty secrets are out and, you know, you deal with it. You have to face it, while people who live in Brentwood have to, like, keep up this facade that their life is just so perfect and stuff like that. And it's just like, that's the difference between people who live in well off and versus people who are like living in poverty, or just who are just going through it, but also not pretending that their life is just perfect. They're going through it too, but they're just not faking it. That's just the difference between Monse and Selena. But yeah, y'all, that's Selena, and it's like, girl, your daughter had to call you out on your bullshit, and she tried to reach out to Monse in the 3rd season. Wait, was it the 3rd season? Yeah, I think it was the 3rd season. And then she kills herself. Yeah, she kills herself. And we're just like, what? Like, we didn't know how she died. It just kind of came out of nowhere. But like Ruby said at the funeral that, oh yeah, she offed herself and stuff like that. And I'm like, ooh, I'm so sorry. But like at the same time, you had problems. Like literally, I think Selena literally had like major issues other than her being a colorist. Like, cause you left your family. Even the dad said there's a thing between Monse and the dad Brian. They had a moment where like they was talking about, you know, what happened. Like, why did she leave? Oh, why did she, you know, off herself? And so the dad was basically like, you know, she left us too, but she kept coming back because she didn't want to do the same thing that she did to Monse to her 2 kids. But it's like, you kind of did again. So I think there's more to Selena than just her being, you know, the colorist that she is. She's an racist. She has her own issues. And, you know, she just flakes out and realized that Selena left a book for Monse. It's like one of her latest books. I forgot what the name of the book was called. But yeah, and Monse in the 4th season, she reads it and she starts to learn more about why. She starts to learn more about Selena and why she left and stuff like that. And kind of gives her, and she tells Monty and she tells Brian, you know, all the little reason, like, you know, it was always going to be like this. This is just who she was. But before we get deeper into that, there was a certain scene that just got me pissed off. It's in the 4th season with Monse and her stepdad Brian. It was a scene where Monse realized that she can't go back to the boarding school because her dad can't afford it. And, you know, Brian was willing to pay for it for her. And it wasn't until she was like, oh, you know, why don't you come live here and stuff like that. Monty like starts to consider it. And then he says something. I forgot what he said.
Your dad hit you too.
What?
You came and stayed with us for a month. And you went back to Free Ridge only to move across the country. And now you're here to get away.
And I'm just like, where is this coming from? Where is this energy coming from? Because even you said, "Oh, girl, try to leave you," but now you wanna say that, oh, her dad's abusing you. Like, where's this energy coming from? And I thought Selena didn't tell Brian that her dad was a quote unquote abusive to her and Monse. So I'm like, where's this energy coming from? And then Monse had to take a step back, like, don't say that to me, because you don't know who my father is. Don't say that to me, because Selena left you too. You told me Selena left you too, babes. What happened to that? What happened to that energy? And I was just taken aback. And then Monty was like, oh, screw this, screw you. Let me go back to Free Ridge, because at least she knows she gonna have better support. She gonna have better support with Monty and his new girlfriend than ever being with Brian and his little kids, like, and her siblings. Like, girl, you don't even know those siblings like that. Anyways, we're done. We're done talking about Selena and her little fake family and stuff like that. Anyways, but Monte has a moment before. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. This video gonna be long, I already know. But go to season 3 for a second. Monse is crying to Ruby because she realized that she does not feel bad that old girl died. She doesn't feel that bad that Selena died, and we're just thinking like, ooh. She's like numb to the pain, and she starts to wonder, like, because they've been through a lot with the shooting and with, you know, you getting kidnapped and cuchillos and everything like that, and she's just like, I don't even think I'm even feeling the pain no more, because she's like so scared that she's not gonna feel sad about any of this stuff right now. And Ruby reassures her that, you know, like, the fact that you're even wondering if you're still gonna feel pain means you're still feeling it. And I'm like, yes, Ruby, reassure her. And that, people are so mean to my girl Sierra Capri. The crying face, people are just so horrible. Oh my god. Anyways, we're gonna talk about Caesar and Monte when I talk about Caesar. So Monte leaves for boarding school. She comes back, and you know, when you think about it, Monte had every right to leave. She had every right to leave, because when you think about it, all she was really worried about while being there was Caesar and them boys. Mostly Caesar, because every season is get Caesar out of the game, get Caesar out of the game, get Caesar out of the game. And now we have to deal with this whole little gang member, the gang leader, Cuchillos, and find little Ricky. And it's just like, what? Like, when is Monty gonna care about herself? When is Monty gonna put herself first before these boys? And that's a moment that she has with Rose and Cuchillos when you think about it, because behind a man is a greater woman. I think that's the saying. It's something like that. Oh my god, what do I do next? Contour. We're gonna do my eyebrows. Yeah, I'm literally just like, what do I do next? Okay. But yeah, there's just that moment they have, and Monse just starts to realize that, girl, go care about yourself for once. Like, go take a book out of Jasmine's notebook and just, you know, be your own boo, be your own survivor, be your own person, babes, instead of worrying about these boys. So she leaves. Monse leaves. But plot twist, we realize this girl was still with Caesar. This girl was still with Caesar, bro, when she left boarding school. So you can't talk to Ruby, Jasmine, or Jamal, but you over here still with Caesar, knowing his ass is still in the gang. He's the leader of the gang. You're still with them. And she had a moment where she was just like, you know, I was probably blinded by the love. I was like, yeah, you were blinded by that D. Get it in, girl. Getting it in. And I'm just like, Monse, girl. And there's this moment between we have a flashback on why we found out like how Monte and Caesar really broke up. And you know, it was a scene where Monte and Caesar were getting high in the car, and you know, Caesar was with another gang member, and so they were talking, right? And the dude's like, oh, Caesar just does not know what to do, you know. Caesar is not all about that life. Caesar was never about that life. And so, the gang member's like, oh, look, there's that dude who jacked old dude's car. And Monty's like, you're not even going to beat him up, so let's go. Let's get out of here. I don't want to be here for it. And, you know, Caesar has to man up and stuff like that. So he gets out the car and go beats up that dude, whatever. This time to somebody's car or something like that with his other little gang member friend. And Monte gets so scared. So once Monte and Odu and Caesar go back to the crib, Monte just like, she was afraid. She was just like, oh hell no, I don't want to be like this. And Caesar getting mad at her getting bucked. And I'm just like, who you getting bucked with? Because you wasn't bucked last season. You wasn't bucked 2 seasons ago. 3 actually. He started getting loud at Monse, and Monse's like, we gotta go call the police on that dude, he could die. Because Monse is not about that. And so Caesar like slams her phone on the ground, and he's like, I thought we was a ride or die. And, you know, Monse was like, I'm not trying to die. Like, I was willing to ride with you, but I'm not finna die for you. You really about to put her accessory to assault. Like, get the out of here. She's not willing to die for the D. And as she shouldn't be. So she left and like literally never talked to him again. So that's how they broke up. And in that moment, she was like, shoot, let me just go care about myself. And she has every right to, because like, as I said, she's been worried about Caesar this whole season, these whole past 3 seasons. And, you know, she's been going through it with her mom and all that. And she never read the book until like the last few episodes. She read the book of what Selena had said. Because she never knew, because she deleted the voicemail with Selena left for her. Because she was just over it. But yeah, Monse, we love Monse. You know what? Monse was really loyal to these boys. At least Caesar. Because who knows what the hell Caesar was on, bruh. But anyways, Monse deserves better than Caesar. When you really think about it. Honestly, her and Jamal would have been cute. Her and Jamal really would have been cute. Especially in real life. Have y'all seen Sierra Capri and Brett Gray? But her and that dude from Outer Banks was really cute. Pope, Jonathan Davis. I don't know how you say his name. But they were cute. But I think they broke up. Because they deleted that picture of them together. But we're not talking about Outer Banks. But anyways, what was I saying? That's Monse. Monse has really been through a lot when you really think about everything. And yeah, self-love, self-care, and that's what Monse was really on, and that's all we can really ask for. Will she and Caesar end up together? I hope not. I think they need a break. They had a break, but I think they need a healthy break, because Caesar does not need to be in that gang. Caesar needs to be somewhere else doing his own thing. And that's about it. But yeah, that's Monse, y'all. Let's get into Caesar. Okay, so Caesar, when we first meet Caesar, he's nice. He's like the heartthrob of the group. And first season, I remember when I saw Caesar, I was like, damn, he is fine. Then when he shaved his head, I was like, oh, he's even finer. I don't know, I really like shaved heads. I don't know why. But yeah, Caesar was so cute first season. And, you know, we didn't see none of these people before. None of them. So it was like, okay, new cast, new crew, who's this? So when we meet Caesar, he's the heartthrob of the group, but we realize, oh, his brother Spooky is the leader of the Santos. And we're just like, oh, whoa. And, you know, Caesar has to be in the game because that's his legacy. Jamal said it best, you know, Caesar was born into the Santos, he will always be the Santos. Because that's their family crest, you know. A gang sign was their family, like, you know. His brother, his father, his grandpa, his uncles, they all in the gang, bro. So, you know, it's obviously meant for Caesar to, you know, either take over one day or be a member, obviously. So the first season is all about Caesar having to prove himself to the gang, even though he doesn't want to be in the gang. And so after all that, Caesar has to make up a choice to either, you know, tell his brother that he doesn't want to be in the gang no more, or deal with it, you know, deal with the consequences of being in the gang. And he has to kill somebody, Latrell. And it does not go well because Caesar's not a killer. Caesar was never buck in the first place. Caesar was never about that life in the first place. Even when he tried to be about that life, God was like, oh, hell no. You remember when the gun jammed? He was really about to shoot Latrell and the gun jammed. Even God was like, this is not you. This is not who you were meant to be. You're not supposed to be a killer. You couldn't shoot him in the first place. You're not going to shoot him now. You're not going to shoot him now. Let's keep that same energy, babes. Let's keep that same energy, Caesar. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, that happened. And so what was I talking about? But anyways, Caesar, we really do not realize how selfish Caesar is. He really cheated on Monse 3 times over the whole series. And it's just like, he's so needy. And I know he did not ask his friends to get him out of the gang. I know that. But he wasn't denying the help. Maybe he was, I don't know. He was at first. He really was. Because he's like, you know what? Just deal with it, y'all. Just, it is what it is. But obviously, they're not going to do that because they care about you, duh. They care about you and your well-being. This is not you. They know that's not you. He was never Buck in the first place, bruh. And so, anyways, Caesar has to deal with the fact that he has to kill Latrell. Because, I almost forgot. Because Latrell pulled up. Oh my god, this scene! Oh my god. This scene when Latrell pulled up on Monse and Caesar, he was like, just play the scene.
Stop saying your damn.
Hey, you know what side you on? This is our block, feel me? They call me Little Spooky, I'll blast on your ass.
Like, sit down. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. Latrell should have just blasted his right there and there. Anyways, and so after that moment, Spooky Oscar Diaz is just, the thing was with Spooky, he was so deep into the gang at that point. But we'll get into Spooky later. We'll get into him next. He was so deep into the gang at that point. It's just like, he knows his brother should not be doing this. And so it just leads to so much. It leads to so much unnecessary drama. Because he has to have his brother in the gang. To prove something? To have his brother continue the legacy. That's the better word. To continue the legacy of, the Centrals. New generation. And so obviously Caesar does not shoot Latrell, and that leads to Latrell fighting him at Olivia's quince with Monse and Ruby. He points the gun. Latrell points the gun towards Caesar, but obviously Ruby took the bullet for him. Ruby and Olivia took the bullet for him. Olivia did not ask to get shot that day. She did not ask to get shot. She was like, I do not want to lose my life. And her and Caesar literally just broke up. So who said she wanted to die for the D? Not Olivia. But she took that bullet. And we just had to spin her around. I think we're okay that Olivia died though, considering behind the scenes. But because Spooky made Caesar shoot Latrell and attempt to shoot Latrell went out for revenge. And we're getting Latrell after. I feel like we should just get in Latrell next, because you realize how sad it is for, like, when you really think about it, that scene between him and Ruby, just, yeah, we'll get into Latrell next, actually. With Caesar not shooting Latrell, it leads to a chain of events just unfolding because of that one incident. And so when you think about it, Caesar does have blood on his hands because of Olivia's death and Ruby taking the bullet for him. It just leads to unnecessary drama and stuff like that. But that's what happens when your family members are in the gang and you're being forced to be in it. So season 2 comes around, and Caesar is dealing with the consequences of not shooting Latrell and having Latrell, dip out of town, and having Ruby and Olivia dead, and Ruby dealing with the emotional trauma of losing his first love. And then also Caesar dealing with the fact that Oscar does not want him there in the family doesn't want him near the gang. He's not protected. He has a target on his back. The prophets are looking for him, and you know, Spooky is not really protecting him like that. But the Santos has made a truce with the prophets, because I forgot what the truce was, but they wasn't supposed to come on their turf, and Santos was supposed to come on the prophets' turfs. Oh my god, where am I? Oh, it's right here. Found it. Okay. What's I talking about? So yeah, and so not Spooky. Caesar's literally on the run, even though he's out in the open. He can't go back home, so he's staying at everybody's house. He stayed at Monse's house. He stayed in Monse's dad's car. He was staying at Jamal, and Jamal and Caesar became really close this season, which is really weird because the first season it was Jamal and Caesar were close and stuff like that, but it's basically Jamal was closer to Ruby the first season. So the second season coming in, Jamal was more closer to Ruby. Not Ruby, but Caesar. You know, Jamal helped him get a job, you know, try to become stable in life. Again, Jamal not being appreciated because literally, yeah. And so, Caesar was staying with Jamal, then he stayed with Ruby. And then he stayed back at Monse's house when they found him, because you know prophets was looking for Caesar at Dwayne's, Jamal's dad, at like a restaurant, whatever, and that didn't really work out well. And so after that, Caesar decides to be Buck again. He stays at Chivo's because they realize, because Chivo's safe house is like in the suburbs, quiet, you know, boring houses around. Nobody's gonna find a gang member there. And so Chivo has the gun, and so Caesar sees that, and Caesar decides to steal it and go to the prophet's territory and go find Latrell, because he realized, oh dang, Latrell's like at his girl's house. So he literally waits. He waits for Latrell to, in the morning, he waits for Latrell to like leave his girl's house. He goes to confront Latrell, and Latrell is shaking in his boots. He was shaking in his boots the first season when Caesar held that gun up. So you realize that, dang, Latrell, even though Latrell's about that life, he's scared too. But anyways, he literally walks up to the gun. Latrell walks up to the gun right here. It says, do it. And you can tell he's a little nervous too, but he's like, do it. I'll go out like a badass. And you know, the gun jams. And I already told y'all, God was telling Caesar that it was not your time. It was not your time to be a killer. And so when I saw that, I was like, you're Caesar is. So even Latrell was like, you won this Santos, bruh. And so in that moment, Caesar was like, let me get the fuck out of here, because and so Latrell like whistles for all his like friends to come out, because he's in prophet territory. They're everywhere, bro. And so Caesar's running for his life. He going through people's houses and stuff, and I'm just like, oh hell no, bro. Luckily he got out. So he goes to see Oscar, and Oscar like tries to help him. Well, he doesn't help him. Oscar like moves him away. But then they create this plan, and I'm just like, I did not see this coming. Nobody saw this coming, obviously. That when they created this plan where they take the Free Ridge heist money with all the marked cash. Oh wait, I forgot to mention that Ruby and Jamal try to help Caesar with the money. I forgot. After Caesar left the prophet's territory, he decided to go, and you know, Jamal, Ruby, and Monse and Alpalita clean all of the roller money. It's clean now, so they decided to give it to Caesar to go. And we just realized Caesar does not even go. He literally told Monse he cheated on her. Monse was like, F you, I'm gone. And Ruby Jamal did not know he was going to come back. So him and Oscar came up with this plan to use all the money and go to the prophets to try to make a deal or something like that. And I'm thinking, not him walking up in their territory thinking he finna do something. I was like, oh hell no. But anyways, that happened. And so they tricked them. They tricked the prophets into thinking they gave them the clean money, but really they set them up. And so all the prophets who were like, you know, helping out or whatever, or who they gave the money to, were sent to jail because they found out that they set them up to be part of the heist. But really it was the Santos. It was the Santos who did it. But they set the prophets up, and so most of the prophets went to jail along with Latrell. And so we realized that, dang, not them come with that genius as plan. Like, I did not see that coming. Nobody saw that coming. So we realized that, okay, Caesar must be safe now, right? And Spooky takes the money, the roller world money, and keeps it for himself. And I'm just thinking, why? Jamal found that money. It is Jamal's money. Why you gotta take it? And I don't even think they even spent the money like that. I don't think Spooky even spent the money like that. So he took the money and stuff like that. Caesar's safe. Monse still pissed at him because he cheated. But let's really talk about how selfish Caesar is. He really cheated on Monse 3 times. The first time being Olivia, knowing that you really want Monse, but y'all didn't want to mess up the crew. Y'all messed up the crew first time because you knew Ruby liked Olivia. You knew how many times he tried to impress Olivia, but no, you over here kissing her after Halloween in the dark, knowing that Ruby's inside waiting for Olivia to go to watch freaking Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, you knew that. Then you break up with her on her key say the day that she died. Was not feeling no remorse. And then after that, you want to cheat on Monse again because Monse decided to go do something for herself instead of saving all the time. You cheated on her with that Dwayne's employee having sex in your friend's dad's restaurant, knowing that that's a health violation. You nasty. And then have the audacity to give Monse an ultimatum. How dare you? And then well, first of all, you cheated on Vero with Monse, and then you want to play Monse thinking you're going to ask her to the dance, to prom, then go to Vero. But then you're going to have sex with Monse in your house, knowing Vero has the key to your place and in your car. And just let her walk up and see you with Monse. And then make Monse think she's the crazy one. Because you send out mixed signals. Like, I didn't like Vera much, but I have to admit, well, he did her wrong. But at the same time, I'm gonna be honest, Monse and Vera fell in love with 2 different guys. They fell in love with 2 different people. Because the Monse Caesar fell in love with was the guy who wanted to live his life, not be so held down to a gang, who just wanted to be with his friends and just enjoy living in the moment, while Vera fell in love with the gang member. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself again. Oh, God. I'm just over it, y'all. Anyways, my eyebrows look good, period. Sorry. But what was I talking about? Okay, oh, my bad, y'all. I mean, like, I totally forgot about this mic right here, okay. Caesar. What was I talking about? Caesar, okay. So they all get kidnapped at the end of season 2. And they're like, Ruby, Jamal, and Caesar just dogging on Monse, like, okay, girl, leave. You just gonna come back? We be good without y'all. And I'm just like, y'all was not good the first time without Monse. So don't act like that. Y'all know she's a glue of the crew. She's a glue of the crew. Don't act like that. And so everybody gets kidnapped, blah, blah, blah. And now season 3, everybody got to find little Ricky. And so Caesar, something happened with Caesar. He's just like, okay, life. I'm only on Caesar, y'all. I'm so tired talking about this boy. Anyways, we find out that Caesar and Oscar's dad comes back. I forgot why he came back. I think he got out of jail. I think. And so he's like, I need a place to stay. Might as well stay in my old crib. You know, I got a job up in Bakersfield with this dude who's like giving second chances to gang members and stuff like that. And so this is like, since Caesar never really knew his dad like that, I think he went to jail around the time Caesar was like a short kid, so he doesn't remember his dad like that. But Oscar remembers his dad. No, Oscar remembers his dad, obviously. And so with Caesar and his dad getting close, and you know, Oscar's like, don't get close to him because he's just gonna disappoint you like he disappointed me. And you know, Caesar's just like, you know, I'm gonna give him a chance because that's my father. I never had the chance to be disappointed by him, so might as well just see what's up. And so okay, in my notes I said this is the moment when we should have knew something was wrong with Caesar, because in this moment when when Caesar's dad left to go to Bakersfield to go be in that job, we should have knew right then and there that something was up. We should have knew right then and there something was going on, because the way he acted when their dad left, because he blamed Oscar for their dad leaving. I'm just like, I'm trying to remember how the scene went. And so it was time for him to go, and Caesar didn't get to say goodbye, but he had his number, so he could talk to them all he want. And so Caesar got really upset about that. Like, he really took his dad leaving to the heart. Like, he really took that to his heart. And so after all that, Caesar wants to get Buck and just like take over, you know. He gets mad at Oscar how he's dealing with the 19th Street and stuff like that. And Oscar kind of just wants all this stuff to be over with. It's like, he's getting old. He's like, I want to start a family. I want to get a job. Like, I'm so tired of dealing with the gang. And Caesar's just like, you know, you're the leader of the Santos. You gotta stick up for what's right. You gotta do what's right. So you're settling for this man's deal, while Casillas over here is like, I totally forgot about Casillas. Casillas over here just like trying to ruin everything for our lives, and you just over here just want to settle. And he's like, yeah. Oscar's like, yeah, let me settle. And so Caesar just wants to like take over, because he realized that, dang, why are you doing this? Like, why are you not doing better for the gang? Like, so in that moment, I'm just like, because I've rewatched this season so many times, I realized that nobody realized that with Frey, their dad, leaving had such a big effect on Caesar and his separation anxiety. Let's be honest, he has it. Because when Maze left, he was so upset, and then not having Oscar for season 2, that made him upset too. Ooh, that's big. And so obviously he has major separation anxiety. And so I don't think nobody really realized that, because everybody was so busy dealing with Casillas and trying to find little Ricky at the same time. So yeah, that was a little crazy. I always never get this side to match. Whatever. But yeah, anyways, yeah. And so after that, Caesar wants to get bugged again, and, you know, kind of take over with the gang and kind of have, like, you know, because they go look for Cuchillo's body, and they go look for Oscar, because Oscar, like, missing, because he was supposed to make a deal with Cuchillo's in the 19th Street, and, you know, that's a whole nother thing. And so they go to the woods to go find Oscar, and it leads them to go find Cuchillo's body and realize that the 19th Street killed her ass, and that they buried her, because there were 4 coffins. I was like, why is there 4 coffins? You got Jamal, Ruby, Monse, and Caesar. But y'all got Cuchillo's in one of them. So I'm just like, what? And so that leads them just like, that's just like, okay, well, Cuchillo's dead. There's really nothing else to it now. They're like, where's Oscar? But Oscar's alive. Abuelito was like sewing up his wounds and like healing to his wounds, and we realize Oscar has the money with him and stuff like that. And so that leads Caesar to, like, you know, that leaves everybody kind of like feeling uneasy that they just saw a dead body, and like they're just like, oh dang, what is it? Like, what do we do now? Like, damn. And at least kind of, not Oscar, but Caesar kind of feeling uneasy that Oscar kind of caved so quickly to them killing Cuchillo's and everything like that. So Caesar just like F Oscar and stuff like that. And yeah. But then Monse leaves to go to the boarding school, and Caesar just like, you know what, do what's best for you, and go be happy, you know, go get out of Free Ridge, because I know if that was Caesar, he would have got out too. But this is a whole new Caesar. Season 3, the end of season 3 was a whole new Caesar. And so at the end of season 3, we see that Caesar is the leader of the Santos. And we're just like, what you mean he's the leader of the Santos? He's over here watching people get jumped in and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what? What do you mean? Are you lying to me right now? We spent 3.5 seasons trying to get his ass out of the gang, and now he's the leader. You're playing with me. You're lying to me right now. You're lying to me, and I'm not happy with it. You're lying to me. You're both-faced trying to play with me right now. And so it was true. It was not a dream. Dude really left and started to be part of the gang, while Oscar's over here living his best life with his baby mama. He has hair now. Caesar does not have hair. Caesar has tattoos. He want to act all buck and stuff. And so that leads Caesar to, and I already told you how him and Monse broke up, so he gets a Vero. And I'm just like, girl, get out of here. Tried it. And, you know, I don't even know what to say about season 4 for Caesar. I really don't. Caesar is going through so many trials of life because he realized he cannot handle the gang. You're not a good leader. You don't know what's right. He tries to pay back the, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So after Monse left, Ruby and Jamal and Caesar fell out because Ruby realized and Jamal realized that they needed the money. They need that world money because they're like, well, you know, I gotta pay these bills and stuff like that. Because, you know, Ruby, we think that his family has to pay all the medical bills because Ruby got shot and stuff like that. It wasn't really his medical bills, but we get into that later. So we find out that Caesar does not know where the money is. And so, because Oscar had the money, I think Oscar, like, I forgot what Oscar did with the money. So I looked it up. So apparently the treasure at the end where the map is, where they find the map from Abuelita. So apparently the world money is with Abuelita and like wherever she buried the treasure. Because remember when Oscar got when Abuelita was helping with his wounds, he had the money with him. So I guess he gave it to Abuelita to like keep for safekeeping. So I guess Abuelita buried it, or she told Oscar to go bury it somewhere, and I guess he forgot, or he just didn't say anything about it. And that's why I'm thinking like he left the money there for Abuelita. So I think that's what happened. Yeah. And so what's his face? Caesar's just like, I'm sorry, y'all, like, compa, I'm sorry, like, I don't know where the money is. They're like, oh, screw you, you're just lying to me. And I'm just like, y'all tell me y'all stopped being friends because of the money when Jamal was the one who found it? Oh, okay. Anyways, and I'm just like, y'all is annoying. Because y'all really stopped being friends for that. And y'all knew Caesar was going through it, so I don't know why y'all just stopped being his friend and just, yeah. Anyways, so present day, they realized, oh shoot, like, Caesar is like getting money back to try to pay them back. And Vera's just like, you really think about those people? Really? They're not even your friends. Like, I'm the only one you need. And he's like, oh, you still think about Monse? And he's like, no, bruh. It's like, shut up, you still think about that girl. And it's not till he sees her on Christmas Eve in the store, because Vera wants to walk up to my girl Monse and act like she about that life. I mean, she is, but Monse is too. Anyways, so we see that he's with Vero, and Vero, I don't know what Vero thought Caesar was, because this is not the Caesar we know. Caesar was never about that life. Anyways, and so that's why they stopped. That's why Baby Jamal stopped being friends. That's why Monse stopped with him. Jasmine and Caesar was never really that close. And so Oscar tries to talk Caesar out of it. And let me tell you something, because Caesar had the audacity to go beat up Oscar's mom van. And I'm just like, how dare you? Yeah, go beat up that van like you try to beat up anybody else. Like, boy, you still can't even shoot nobody. You still can't even kill nobody, Caesar. So stop acting like you've been about that life. I'm literally drawing on my face now. But, yeah. This really annoyed me. But it wasn't until, spoiler alert, Oscar died, that he realized that he has lost control. That he does not want to be part of the gang. Bitch, we been knew you didn't want to be part of the gang. Like, we spent 3 seasons and a half trying to get you out of the gang. Why are you trying to act like you about that life? Anyways, but yeah, Caesar realized that after he died that this is not what he wants. And you want to know something? Diego Tinoco, we stand Diego Tinoco. We just don't stand Caesar because Caesar sucks. And oh my god, I'm so sorry, y'all. But Caesar is the reason for all of this. This would have never happened. Well, I think this might have would have happened because Jamal did find the world money that the Santos did bury. Little Ricky and Frankie and Benito did bury the money. So I think this would have happened either way. But it wouldn't have been this crazy. Like, y'all are still kids. Y'all are still freshmen in high school dealing with this stuff. So, oh, let me finish this part. Oh, it's hot. Okay. I saw Diego Tinoco post this on his story, like after like maybe like a day or two after the show came out. He posted that. And it says, why is Caesar different this year? He said, well, let's see. The kids only been jumped into a gang, forced to kill someone, watch his girlfriend get murdered. She wasn't your girlfriend at the time, Olivia. She was not your girlfriend. You literally broke up with her on her key-say. Well, she broke up with you, but same difference. Watch his best friend get shot. He took the bullet for you. That bullet was meant for you, but okay. Abandoned by his mother. Can't say much about that. Abandoned by his father. Can't say much about that either, because his brother had to better his life before he could better anybody else's, period. Kicked out of the house by his brother because you started this. You couldn't kill nobody. Left homeless. Can't say nothing about that. Sleeping in shelters. You was probably safe in there anyway. Got and watched your body get burned to ashes, all while growing up in poverty, trying to have a normal teenage life and graduate high school. So excuse the kid for being a little different this season. Just, if you don't shut, you couldn't do half the things on here. You couldn't even kill nobody, bruh. And half of the things that happen is your fault. Like it's all Caesar's fault. All season 4, I was like, it's Caesar's fault. It's Caesar's fault. Like, it was Caesar's fault. That Oscar got killed. It wasn't really Caesar's fault that he got killed, but I personally think Oscar got killed by the Santos instead of the Prophets. But we get into Oscar next. But yeah, I saw him post that. I was just like, get your facts straight. And first of all, you did not get jumped out of the gang. And then you got jumped in. But see, Oscar very much took the beating for himself and you. So get your facts straight, babes. Get your facts straight. Before you start talking. But love Diego Tinoco. He's cool. Also, his voice got so deep. I'm like, please stop forcing it. Please stop forcing it. It's not cute. I'm so sorry, y'all. I've been hitting this mic so much. I'm so sorry. This is my first time actually filming with this mic, so it's really weird. But yeah, I'm just like, shut the hell up. Shut up. But yeah, I think Caesar has been going through it. And so this season with him, he had like a reality check this season. And as he should, because he was really talking about his whole season. Him and Monse are cute together. They did get back together first. Monse was so petty. I swear to God, Monse was so petty, girl. And I mean, Monse did have him first, but come on now. I mean, I don't like Vera, but still, these hoes is not loyal. I mean, Monse was loyal, I will say that. And Vera was loyal too, but you know, she's crazy. And that leads, I forgot to talk about this on Monse, but I thought it would make more sense to talk about this on Caesar's part. And Vera went to go, so Monse decided to go talk to Vero and say, I'm sorry that, you know, Caesar wants me, that he wants to get back with me. Turns out, because she thought that Caesar texted at the Vero, but it turns out they all got high one night after spreading out Oscar ashes. And so Monse decided to go. Monse didn't know that she texted her, that she thought that Caesar texted him. But anyways, Monse went to go confront Vero and was like, you know, tell her like, you know, I'm sorry that this had to happen, you know, girl code, you know, we don't have to hate each other because society just wants girls to hate each other, da da da. And Vero was like, Vera was just like, yeah, you think so? You know, you do feel bad for me? It's okay. And Jasmine's a real friend, because Jasmine saw that Vera was about to whoop. And Jasmine was like, So Jasmine put on her rings. Jasmine put on her rings on Monse. And you see this girl getting prepared to go punch Monse in the face, right? And so Jasmine warned her, like, girl, if you don't buck up and turn around, because Vera went for that punch, and Monse was like, oh, you don't let your goddamn marbles. And I was like, oh, don't fuck with Monse, because Monse may had left the hood, but the hood did not leave her. You saw Monse's face when Vera tried to go for that punch, bro. And I was like, you know, Vera knew how to square up. She went for that punch. Luckily, Monse was like, God, who do you think you are? And so the next scene's like, Monse like holding Vera in like a headlock, and I'm just like, girl, how you get her in a headlock? Now come on now, you went for that punch. How you now I would have liked to see the actual fight, like how they did in Players Club. You ever seen that movie, Old Girl Finding Old Girl? Lisa Ray's character Finding Old Girl. I would have liked to see that, but that didn't happen. And so that didn't happen. But Monse had her in a headlock, and I'm just like, oh yes, Monse. And they fight over Caesar. Caesar ain't it. Caesar is not. But anyways, yeah, that happened. And so he said have these girls fight over him. Especially Monse. Like Monse say, it's like Monse say has to prove her loyalty to Caesar, and it's so fucking annoying. But anyways, back to Caesar. We realize how much Caesar just does not know his brother like that, because he tries to figure out where to spread his ashes. This is such a weird turn. But it's like they go to the baseball field, they go to Caesar's Apollo, they think about spreading his ashes at Pip Lane, and no. And so he's talking to Sad Eyes, and Sad Eyes says one thing that makes Caesar thinks, oh, this is the right place to spread his ashes. He said the tide, and Caesar instantly thinks, oh shoot, the ocean, the beach. If y'all remember that scene.
That's who I am. Shit, if I wasn't looking after your ass, I would have hit that magnet school up in Pasadena.
Now you're just messing with me.
De veras, Holmes. All my teachers wrote letters for me. Even the principal. Told mom I was gifted.
So why didn't you go?
And leave your little ass alone?
Mom was right.
Nah, that wouldn't have been a good idea.
Right before it's right before Caesar had to go shoot Latrell, and so they're talking, right? And so he figured out, oh shoot, this is where he wants to be, because that was such an emotional, that was such like an emotional scene, because we see more of Oscar than we ever seen. Like we learn more of his story, that like Oscar was a good kid at one point. He made good grades. He was able to go to like a really good college, and like teachers talked good about him. So, but he had to look out for Caesar, and he had to look out for himself, and he had to be stuck in the gang. So it's like he was never able to really live out his dream of like going to college, get a good job, and get a good family, because he was always stuck looking after Caesar. And so that's where they spread their ashes at. And he's with Monse, Ruby, and Jamal. They talk about it, and they spread his ashes. So this was a really sweet moment. And Caesar is out for revenge, but the thing, when Oscar got shot, he didn't tell Caesar who shot him.
Oscar! 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 You see who it was? Who did this to you? Tell me!
They killed Oscar!
Tell me! Oscar! Oscar! No! Somebody help us! Oscar! No, my brother! Not my brother! No! Help! Ayuda!
Oh, thank you. He didn't tell who shot him, because he didn't want Caesar out for revenge, because it wasn't going to bring Spooky back. It wasn't going to bring Oscar back at all if you go out revenge, because I don't know why Caesar hasn't realized this, that your past catches up with you. That was what happened with Oscar. Your past will catch up to you, and that's what happened with him. And so this whole season, we don't realize who killed Spooky, and we're kind of just left in the dark. And so that's not until Caesar goes to visit his dad in Bakersfield, and we learn that it's not worth him going to look for his Spooky's killer. So that happened. And so we realize that Caesar tries to leave, and he meets this guy named Ricky. He meets this guy named Ricky. He tells him all of the things about him giving second chances to ex-gang members, no matter if they're prophets or Santos, no matter what. And he kind of just like tries to reassure Caesar that it's gonna be okay, because revenge is not the only option, And it's not until that moment we realize that he's talking to little Ricky. Chivo and Caesar were talking about little Ricky. I'm sorry, y'all, my phone's ringing. And the gnomes like swim by in the floaty, and Caesar asks, where's little Ricky gnome? And she was like, they live in all of them. Little Ricky lives in all of the Santos. And in that moment, we should have knew little Ricky was alive, because at that moment we was presumed that he was dead this whole time. And so, because there wasn't a gnome of him, so we should have knew that he was dead. And that kind of foreshadows And this whole scene between him and Chivo talking foreshadows him meeting Little Ricky. Meeting Little Ricky. And so Chivo tells him that Little Ricky would have liked you. And Caesar was like, I wish I could have met him. And boom, he's the first one to meet Little Ricky. It is so crazy because like it's this big buildup of who Little Ricky is, and we find out that Little Ricky is just this normal guy, literally hiding in plain sight, helping ex-gang members because he was caught up in some hard shit himself. So yeah, that was really crazy. I was literally losing my mind. I'm gonna put my reaction in right here.
Is that Little Ricky talking to Caesar? He said, "Oh, I'm Ricky. Let me replay that real quick."
Caesar. Good to meet you, Caesar. I run this place. I'm Ricky.
Bitch, that's Little Ricky! Ah! Oh my god! What?
I'm putting my reactions to a lot of these scenes too. Spooky dying, to me, Little Ricky, to all of it. But yeah, that was really crazy to me. I was like, whoa. What? That's so crazy. Yeah. But Caesar is doing better. He is finally realizing that he can do more in life than just be in a gang. But that's Caesar, y'all.
So smooth like the car I ride, even